Hello, Sonali.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, all. Think Sonali, we can start.
Okay, sure. Thank you. A warm good morning to all of you, and thank you so much for joining this program. A warm welcome to a 1 week FDP program on cybersecurity and blockchain. We at COAP, our whole team, appreciate your presence and your participation. Thank you so much for that. Uh, Actually, this FDP, the plan of this FDP is in such a way that we are going to include all the recent topics from blockchain and cybersecurity space, as well as from the practical as well as theoretical concepts will be covered, not only from the research perspective, but also from the application perspective. And we are very much blessed that we have got the eminent speakers for this session who have agreed to be part of this program. And we are really hopeful that you find this program very much useful, not only from the concepts perspective, but also from the applications perspective. So before taking much of time, I think we can start with Saraswati Vandana and inauguration. And after that, Dr. Mane sir would say a few words about the FDP as well. Does that work, sir? Is
Yes.
that okay? Yeah. So, Shital ma'am, please help us with the Saraswati Vandana.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीम् वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीम् पद्मासने संस्थिताम् वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीम् बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Dr. Mane sir for saying few words about this FDP. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. I welcome all the participants for this AICTE Training and Learning ATAL Academy Faculty Development Program during 6 to 10 December, and on cyber security and blockchain awareness, use cases and challenges. Very flexible tools which are used for modification of the content present in the various websites and so on. Okay, so that is the various methods used in the phishing. Basically, what are the means used for phishing? Okay, so already we have seen a lot of things, but here it is categorized in a proper way. So here you can see the phishing means are like emails. Emails are like sent to various kind of like embedded form emails. Emails are sent with some attachments. Emails are sent with some exploiting some materials. Okay, some emails are also sent with the help of these URLs and so on. Then there are message boards on the websites and so on. There are web banners. Their instant chats are available through that. You can also send some chats, attachments, okay. Some pre-recorded messages you can send, and some URLs you can also send, okay. VoIP already we have seen. Pre-recorded messages are played and so on, okay. Also, VoIP is also used to talk to humans, wherein these sessions are interactive sessions. So basically, they are emotionally making you, understand the requirements of themselves, and finally, they are needing some personal details from your side, and so on. Okay, so these are the various phishing means. Then phishing payloads, what we see is there are some keyloggers. Keylogger are the very small programs which are used to just log the various key presses that you do on the laptops or desktops, okay, even on the mobile phones and so on. So just keeping the just sending this particular keyloggers to you, and the keylogger in turn keep all those logs with it, and finally it will frequently or periodically send to the particular server. Okay, it is attached to a server program, and it is basically sending all those key presses that you do. And if the such information is available at the server side of this keylogger, so certainly you can imagine one can have user IDs, passwords of yours, and so on. Then there are certain spywares wherein these again are very small programs, and understanding what are the various the nature of navigations you are doing on the internet. All those records will be kept in these kind of spywares, and they are sending such information periodically to the server. Then screen grabbers, okay, the name itself gives meaning, okay. So then the rootkit, okay. So this is again understanding the root passwords and so on. The small program is used. Trojan backdoor functions. Then there are certain bot.
And you can it is more easier than cryptogen. And if you want to generate certificates using cryptogen, you have to make more files to generate those organization certificates. But if you use Fabric, you don't require those kind of files or the configuration file. You can directly onboard a new organization, or you can directly revoke access, provide access. Those kind of things will do. And coming to the certificates types, we'll have 5 different set of certs. So TLS certs and E certs, key stores, and MSPs and CA certs. So if you want to make a transaction in Hyperledger Fabric network, a member should have this, whatever the certificates I mentioned, a set of certificates which is provided by Certificate Authority. On the right side architecture, you can see a root certificate, which will help you to like each peer should have this root certificate to store the data. So peer will act as a ledger, and also we have electronic certs and T certs, transaction certs, which is provided by Fabric CA. And also I've no slides for HSM. Maybe I'll provide you. So HSM is nothing but a hardware security module, so which will help you to secure your application more. So that's one of the best, I can say one of the best feature which is included in Hyperledger Fabric. Okay, so it's a very big concept, peer, but people will say we'll call it as node, sometimes peer, sometimes ledger, but the actual peer work is like to store the transaction, but it has many roles. On the right side, before we are getting into this left side, we can see, we'll look into it first, right side. The peer can act as an endorser peer, committer peer, submitter peer, and ledger. Ledger is nothing but a database, and it handles chain codes and the events. We'll go one by one. So you can see, we can say like one peer can do all these roles. You don't need to create endorser peer, committer peer, a ledger. It's not like that. You can create only one peer. You can make that peer as endorser peer, committer peer, and anchor peer. So it will do at the time of transaction. We have a transaction lifecycle in Hyperledger Fabric. So one after another, a peer can change their role and act accordingly. That's how it will work. But what technical people will say, the major role of the peer is endorsing the transaction and storing the transaction as a ledger. So that's how I mentioned ledger as a database here. Whatever the peer may act as a role, different role or individual account. Finally, the role of the peer stores the transaction in a ledger format. So that is one thing. So now we'll come to this slide. Peer is a node on the network, maintaining a state of the ledger and managing chain codes. We'll, we'll discuss about the chain code later. So any number of peers may participate in a network. Obviously, you can create n number of peers under one organization, and you can make a peer can participate into that particular channel. That is also possible. And if you don't want to make a one peer as to do all the roles like endorser, committer, peer, you can create 5 peers. You can make one peer as anchor peer, one peer as a ledger, or you can make a particular peer to join in the channel. So that kind of things will happen. And event is nothing but a complete transaction lifecycle. Starting from the initiation of a transaction, it will go through a consensus, endorsement policies, and the ordering services validation. Finally, it will be stored on a peer ledger. This complete transaction will be called as an event here. Peer can be endorser. Okay, so endorser, the first step of the transaction validation, I can say. So when a transaction comes from an SDK or API, so the first thing which meets Hyperledger Fabric is like endorsement. So that endorsement policy will be created by Hyperledger Fabric on your chain code, the logical code you're writing, right? So when you deploy and load the chain code in Hyperledger Fabric, with that we'll apply a policy. So who else? Even if you have 3 or more organization, will write code or will write a logic, will write a policy to that code. That this code can be endorsed with only org1 and org2, or org1 peer 1 or org2 peer 2. In recent Hyperledger Fabric features and the versions, they updated this. Initially, it was like only a org can endorse. Under that org, if you have n number of peers, all the peers can endorse. But in from the release of 1.4.11, they implemented under a org, any one peer can endorse, or if you want make a particular peer can endorse, that option is also available. So as I said, peer can manage event hub as well, and that delivers the events to a blockchain, finally to the orderer, so that orderer will store the transaction block. Okay, so orderer is another main concept in Hyperledger Fabric. I would say like orderer is nothing but administrator in this network. Without orderer's help or orderer's knowledge, nothing will happen here. As I said, transaction will start from the endorsement. Once the endorsement policy verification is done, it will move to orderer. What orderer will exactly do? The role of the orderer is like here, it will create a block for your transaction. That transaction block will have transaction hash, timestamp, and the hash values, the previous and next hash. So it's a kind of additional security, and nobody can participate in this network without orderer's knowledge. And if you want to onboard a new org after your network, if your network is running for more than a year, and if you want to onboard new organization into it, that time you need to get a sign from this orderer. Once the order is signed for this new organization, it will you don't need to get signed from all the organizations. That part will be taken care by order. So order, what it will do, it will inform the peers or the network members too that I have signed one more organization into this network. So they are they can also participate in this network. And uh, we can say if you have 1,000 blocks already created on an existing network, and that new participant, if you decided to not to give all the block information to the new participant, you can give it on from which block that user can access this network. That is also possible here. So basically what order will do, it will do verification, it will provide more security to the network, and the policy management, and finally
that is under our control, and what are the systems and devices within that infrastructure. Thirdly, what are the access and identity management system that we have, right? Roles and permission metrics that we may have to access certain services, and who all have access to what services should not be open to whom, and this kind of metrics should be identified. And lastly, how are you gonna reduce these or minimize these surfaces, right? So for example, very common methods we use is like we install antiviruses or we install anti-malwares, kind of softwares on our devices, computer systems and servers. We try to, or we plan to patch our services and our computer systems to keep it updated, right? All the softwares and systems should be updated. That's what is the patch management. Then we may be doing regular vulnerability scans, right? Pen testing and things like that, where we make sure that our application do not possess any security threats. And there are a lot many things. So you secure your servers in a way where all of these services are secure. For example, your web services, your file services, your email services. Like these are all individual services that we have to go and configure such a way that it is secure. It follows certain security standards and frameworks, and that is what we basically do to reduce or minimize the possible ways that people can utilize to gain access to the infrastructure. Next slide, please. So why did we talk about like what are these security risks? What are the categories? The reason we have to understand that is because the moment we say we need to secure, right? And there, as we discussed, there are a lot many ways that we can have to secure our infrastructure. But how exactly are we going to use blockchain technology or DLT, that is distributed ledger technology, to secure our cloud infrastructure? And that is what we're going to talk about slide by slide. Next slide, please. So up till now, as you can see, we have like this kind of framework of networks infrastructure, right, where we can broadly classify them into open data access with centralized.
I'd like to thank our institute COIP functionaries, director, deputy director, and all deans, and our management who has supported in this conducting this activity. So big thanks to all the speakers. So you could see that the team could support with n number of different speakers by providing their expertise over here. So I would like to thank all those industry people, outside experts, as well as internal speakers who have spent their valuable time and delivered the session in this. And a big thanks to all of you, the participants. So without you, it wouldn't have been possible, right? So once again, I would like to congratulate as well as thank Mane sir also for doing this event a successful. Thank you. Over to you, Ketan.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. Without your support, even this FDP would not have been possible for us to manage. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Sunil Mane, sir, for his valedictory words for our participants.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all. So we have came to an end of the 5-day FDP on cybersecurity and blockchain. So we had a variety of speakers, and the speakers for delivered the sessions on cybersecurity, then blockchain, the various use cases, challenges. So all sorts of mixed kind of topics we have covered throughout this 5-day. So certainly these online technologies are having many limitations. So it's not possible to cover each and every aspect of every concept or any topic. So if it would have been physical, then it would have been very better, because we could able to give the hands-on experience and many more things. could be understood from your side and so on, and more interactive could be made. That is what I feel strongly. And most of the topics and most of the aspects of this already covered by Vaida ma'am. So I'm very thankful to her. She is always supportive for many such activities that we do, technical activities at COAP. Even our management, higher management, director sir, and Dean R&D and all, they are also very helpful, because without them, I could not able to submit. Get their guidance and submit these proposals to AICT and all. So this particular FDP has been sanctioned last year, but due to that pandemic second wave situation, so they asked us to, earlier it was offline only, but they, due to this pandemic, they asked us to make it online mode. So I just made it online, and then given the new dates of this FDP, and then it has been executed in this month. So I really thank to all the speakers who have accepted our invitation, and with their managed to book their slots uh, from their busy schedule, and really delivered very good sessions. We have all the recordings of all this FDP. So I hope all of you enjoyed these technical sessions, all the technical sessions. So I would like to thank them. Along with that, I really thank to my organizing team, who has been always in touch with you people, as well as the various speakers who have been associated with this FDP. So in online mode, most of the time it requires like a lot of coordination. So because every time we have to have some sort of exchange of mails, exchange of conversation and so on, to make it more effective. So a lot of coordinations were there, and my team has worked very hard to make it more convenient for all of us. So with this, I would like to thank each one of you, the participants, because without you, it's not possible to conduct any kind of FDP or so on. So I would like to thank you all. Even you are busy with your all academic schedules and other stuff. So you dedicated your time for this FDP and so on. So I really appreciate it, and I hope you are getting some good takeaways from this FDP, and we'll be in touch in future too. So whatever will be the events, we will broadcast to you on our WhatsApp group and so on. So be in touch with us, and certainly we will try to make it more beneficial, more practical oriented FDP in future too. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So now we'll be having our feedback. Every day, all participants are filling their day-wise feedback. So any participant would like to add on or give some suggestion or any comments can unmute themselves and interact with us.
Yes, anyone want to talk? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Mane sir and